Quick, think of any Counter-Strike game mode. I bet you didn't say retakes. So why is that? Today we're delving into my favourite Counter-Strike game mode. We're going to be taking a look at the mode's rules, origins, why you should play it, and what I would like changed to make this Counter-Strike 2 ready. Oh, and if you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Counter-Strike insights. In retakes, players experience a modified version of the classic competitive gameplay. Teams are divided into Ts, which defend the bomb site, and CTs, tasked with retaking it. Each player starts with a predefined loadout of their choice, including a primary weapon, utility items, and a random armor value. The goal is to win 8 rounds, while a draw occurs at 7-all. The emphasis is on honing skills in fast-paced, high-pressure situations, making retake mode an excellent training ground for efficient teamwork, quick decision-making, and site control. With friends or a coordinated team, you're able to simulate competitive match retakes to a T, with clear communication and even strats if you wish. This develops teamwork skills that translate into competitive matches. To truly appreciate the retake game mode, we have to tip our hats to the vibrant CSGO community. Back in the day, community servers were a breeding ground for innovation. It's here that players found ways to reshape the traditional CS formula. For retakes, they defined the competitive mode to focus solely on rapid, high-stakes action, which leaves us with the template of the retake mode we know today. When Valve caught wind of the community's love for retakes, they decided to make it official. The mode, which had initially existed in the realm of custom servers, was officially ported into the game in the Broken Fang operation in December 2020. However, Valve made notable changes to refine the experience, from UI enhancements to matchmaking integration. They embraced the concept and turned it into an accessible and engaging option within the game's official modes. Official retake servers include a wide range of player-voted maps, which allows you to practice on various bomb sites and locations. Doing so improves your familiarity with each map and allows you to find new positions and off angles that can give you a strategic edge in competitive games. However, retakes isn't without its limitations. Valve, take note, here are 7 major issues I have found and how I would like them to be fixed to make retakes the best it can be for CS2. Issue 1. Skill disparity. Even in competitive, your teammates are always going to be vastly inferior to you. So imagine how terrible your teammates are without any form of balancing. Sarcasm aside, the lack of any team balancing sets into motion games where one side completely obliterates the other off the side of the earth, and the others are left with an extremely unengaging and unfun experience. So how can we fix this? Simple. Introduce some form of skill-based matchmaking. Whilst having its drawbacks, skill-based matchmaking creates a more competitive experience for all players, which will provide both more enticing gameplay and incentivizes players to stay. Issue number 2. Lack of incentive. Nobody does something for nothing, and rightfully so. Without proper motivation to engage in this game mode, why would anyone play it? Currently, the incentives in place offer the players a chance to receive a random drop twice a week. However, this system still applies to all other game modes, and when deathmatch games are shorter, why would anyone play retakes instead? However, intrinsic motivation is a powerful thing. All the Chad retake enjoyers I know play it not to acquire items of monetary value, but because retakes deliver swift action and pure enjoyment. Picture the surge in popularity that retakes could experience if this intrinsic appeal is still intact, but also there's some form of extra motivation for new players to gain interest. So how can we motivate players to play? I have several ideas, and I want you to tell me in the comments if you would like to see them implemented in the game. So, an idea potentially is host limited time events within retakes, which contain fun casual challenges such as defuse the bomb within the first 15 seconds of the round, get a knife kill, or even disarm the bomb with all T players still alive. Fun and wacky challenges which encourage players to take risks, which is something that most comp players avoid doing because of the threat of losing their rank. Another idea, which is taken from community retake servers, is to add a friend leaderboard, which displays all of your friends' retake statistics, which if you're more competitively minded, then grinding out the game mode aiming to be the best retake player in your friends list would be an enticing and braggable achievement. Another big incentive to play would be if the game mode actually got updates. Speaking of which, issue number 3, update frequency. Even if the retake population drastically increases tomorrow, how many people will continue to play it next week? A great way to get players to play over long periods of time comes from updates. Retakes hasn't had a major update since its release. The solution to this? Just update it more. Right, next. Okay, so seriously, how could Valve update retakes? Some potential ideas would be to update the loadouts, include more streamer/content creators' iconic loadouts. By acknowledging and accepting the expanded content community, the content creators will take note and state that they have a new loadout in the Retake game mode, which is free advertising as players would like to see a reference to their favourite streamer or YouTuber in-game. Another way Valve could update retakes would be by diversifying and alternating the current retake map pool. Issue number 4. Diverse map pool. It should be common sense that if you want people to play and enjoy the new maps you add to competitive, you have to put in the legwork and make them playable in retakes before. Players will be more inclined to play on your new maps if they start out in a less competitive game mode. Hell, if you're feeling adventurous, why not add some lesser known but up and coming maps to the retake pool? This exposes players to the maps early on, so when they get added to competitive, it won't be such a shock. Not enough is done for new maps in the scene before they get added to competitive, and adding them into retakes is a good start. Issue number 5. Economy management. The absence of an economy system in retakes means players miss out on practicing a crucial aspect of competitive gameplay. This can lead to a gap in understanding when transitioning to standard matches. By introducing a rudimentary economy system in retakes, this could help close the gap between competitive and retakes. Players would gain a fundamental understanding of buying, saving, and managing resources, preparing them for competitive play. An example of this could be where players on the team get assigned different amounts of money, which they can then spend in the buy menu for varying weapons and equipment of their own choosing. Issue number 6. T-side dominance. While retakes provides a snapshot of key moments, it lacks the pacing and dynamic shifts found in competitive matches. This can result in players not fully grasping the ebb and flow of standard gameplay. One-sided practice is one of the largest drawbacks in this mode. I often find that when loading into a match, it's a race to whoever can click on the T icon first. Playing as a T is objectively more fun. You are able to deploy all of your utility, which halts the CTs, and you are allowed to take gunfights on your own terms, which leads to more advantageous conflicts and therefore kills. To fix the T-side dominance, I see 2 potential options. Valve could either inject more dynamic elements into retakes, such as introducing halftime switches, which would switch the players at halftime to the opposing side, or a more likely situation is that they take inspiration from the community servers, which auto-balances players from T to CT and vice versa when needed, so each player gets an equal number of rounds on both sides of the law. Either of these would mirror the pacing of competitive matches more closely and offer a more authentic and fair experience to all players. Issue number 7. Disconnects and abandons. In a perfect world, players would never leave a game midway. However, sometimes the real world gets in the way. Whilst adding a competitive cooldown would be too drastic of a punishment for a casual game mode. Instead, we want to incentivize players to stay. And finding a way to do that is much healthier for the community than disincentivizing players from leaving. There isn't a one-size-fits-all approach to stopping players from disconnecting. Players leave for a multitude of different reasons, such as real-world issues taking priority, toxic teammates, skill gap in the server is too wide, general frustration, technical issues, lack of motivation, or even time constraints. We can address some of these issues in varying different ways. For example, if the reason for leaving is due to toxic teammates, then when a player attempts to quit via the menu or Alt F4, perhaps offer them the ability to mute all players in the server first. Or if a player needs to leave due to time constraints, then perhaps remove the bomb defuse time. This will save up to 10 seconds of wasted time, which could easily be saved, as is shown with other community servers. Other ways to help incentivize players to stay would be by implementing a fair team switch. So if a team is dominating, then the players will be switched around to try and balance the server. And if all else fails and players are determined to leave, then simply create a multiple choice pop-up box which asks them why they left. Then at least the data why the players are leaving could be used to improve the experience in the future. Whilst retakes does have its limitations, the beauty of the gaming lies in the continuous evolution of experiences. By addressing these challenges and implementing thoughtful enhancements, CS2's retake mode could offer an even more engaging and effective practice arena. If you found this video enjoyable or insightful, consider showing your support by liking this video and subscribing for more content. Thanks for joining me through this, and until next time, keep practicing, keep improving, and keep being awesome.